very exciting experience for me. I've been with the company for about 2 years. I started with the company's operations in the Middle East, based out of our headquarters in Dubai. And recently I've been given the opportunity to do some work in the India region. The company is very solid when it comes to its financial background. If you look, we are probably one of the few companies that have held on steady or even grown through the recessionary climate. And the testimony of that you can see on our balance sheet, for instance. And the fact that we catered largely to the small to medium enterprise and small to medium business segment of the market, that's a segment that has grown for us across both regions. I think there are two very different complexions, and it would not be fair to really compare the two markets. But the differences, I think, are very obvious. First and foremost, India has been on a growth path, and even through the recessionary climate, if you look at the figures from the International Monetary Fund or the Organization of Economic and Cooperation and Development, you will notice that India has grown through the recessionary period. So, in effect, the Indian markets never really slump into a recession.
That's it.
As a result, India offers a very significant opportunity for any software vendor, any vendor of repute that has solutions that can cater to this market. If you look at the more developed countries, I would think that they are far more aware of their requirements. In the Indian landscape, the opportunity is tremendous, and I think it's a big denomination of people understanding their requirements first. And I think educating the market through people like yourself, largely the press, and we all have a social responsibility towards helping organizations understand the requirements better. And only when the technology presents itself as a true business solution for, regardless of the size of the operation, then the adoption rate is much quicker. I think we could do much better than what we are doing in this market at the moment. We've had a few challenges, but I think if I look at the opportunity, it far more than outweighs the challenges that we've had in the recent past. But I'm very, very excited about the India market for many reasons. One, I think the solutions portfolio that we have to offer is very suited for the Indian landscape. A lot of solutions that have been developed by Sage and also by our partner community actually hit the heart of several vertical strategies that this market offers. I think the first and foremost thing is a 360 view to the business. The second thing is predictability and visibility of everything that an enterprise does. If you look at simple solutions like CRM, for instance, well, you could call it simple or you could call it as complex as you want to make. All of us do CRM. Whether it's holding contacts on a mobile phone, or if it's writing at in a diary, or remembering people's birthdays, or sending an email to your partners or to your customers, we all are doing CRM at some stage or form. The moment we start collating this information in a more organized manner, that same information means that you now have access to it at all points in time. More importantly, different people from within your own company have access to the same information. That makes an organization, regardless of size, far more efficient in the way they can run their operation. And joining those data points together is a significant opportunity. Now, different organizations have dealt with CRM, for instance, in different ways. Markets that have seen a more recessionary climate have looked at CRM as a very effective tool for doing business forecasting. They have looked at it as a tool to improve the customer relationship management with their customers. They have obviously used it for a very traditional use for pipeline management, which most companies actually use CRM for. And last but not the least, where should you spend your marketing dollars? How do you measure the effectiveness of your marketing dollars? And if you have a CRM system with which you can measure the success of the last campaign, you would know where to reinvest those dollars or not to invest them, as the case may be. I think the cloud strategy or cloud in general is a foregone conclusion. I think the markets will edge towards cloud solutions. Today, as Sage, our strategy is that we are available both on-premise and on the cloud. So we do have a cloud offering as well. I mean, generally, I tend to hear that we are not there on the cloud, which is not true. We do offer cloud solutions. However, the adoption of the cloud solutions is still fairly low. Goes back to what I said earlier about how customers are first getting used to their own, let's say, requirements. So cloud is still a little bit of a far cry as an adoption rate. Chances are that the adoption rate will gradually improve. The most customers, in fact, look at on-premise for several reasons. And just to highlight a few, is the degree of customization, the support that is offered by the local partner, and especially for the SMB, SME type segment of the market. Most customers, when they are adopting a solution, they don't look at a bespoke solution. They are looking for some degree of customization, some degree of effort required. And once they get it, or once they know that the solution is right, then it's a commercial decision whether it's on-premise or on cloud. And I think there is no dearth of opportunity in the Indian market. And we can see that the customers are becoming more and more discerning. So once they know what they want, then I think it's a question of choice that the Indian landscape have today, the customers. So at this point in time, we've got some success in a few verticals, which came more out of the initial wins that we had. We have the media as a very large vertical. We have the insurance industry, we have finance, we have distribution. And within distribution, we are looking at different models. And in manufacturing, we are targeting more discrete and process manufacturing. Well, the government sector is a very interesting opportunity, and allow me to elaborate a little bit more. We are targeting the government sector, but we are cautious that because Sage is better known for SME and SMB type solutions, we should be at the right point of qualification. So we see that there is a faster adoption at the state level government opportunities. They're more at the federal level, for instance. Another key strength of Sage is our ability to localize our code in different languages. We have a localization partner in India. We can localize our solutions, and we can also present the customized solutions in vernacular languages, for instance. We have sufficient experience in doing that in other markets within my extended geography. And yeah, we are there. We are ready for business. Yeah. So our go-to-market strategy is largely channel-driven. We believe in the channel. I think for our business, if one of the key denominators for our success will be channel. So we are heavily investing in training our channel community, offering them all the tools necessary for them to be up and ready to position Sage with their customers. Even to the extent of giving them, sales training on basic selling skills apart from technology skills. And I think another very important criteria is not only education on the technology, but to find people who have functional experience. Because that brings them much closer to customers than just addressing the technology space. So a very good combination in a good consultant is somebody with some functional experience and some technical knowledge of our technology. I think my advice to the channel community is that it's very important to understand that they have a shared responsibility working when they are approaching a customer. For a customer, he's not looking at a technology, he's not looking at a customized solution, he's looking for a total solution, where he's looking at a total cost of ownership. So, while positioning any technology, any support, any solution, it's important to see how will that solution get delivered. More importantly, how will it get supported in the medium to long term. And only having that customer as a good reference customer is worthwhile even engaging in that transaction. Because one good customer is going to give you 5 new customers. And if you have one bad apple, for instance, he was going to tell 10 other people that it was a poor implementation. So, if you're approaching a customer, you have to be very sure of delivery. You have to be very sure that the solution works, that anything that is being done as a customization or as an add-on is 100% backed up by the vendor, by Sage, by our consultants. So at the end of the day, the customer gets a delivered solution that works for him, is supported locally, and everyone's a winner. So I think our strategy for B&C class cities at this point in time is radically clear. We are exploring to work with some key channel partners who have sufficient knowledge of the CRM and ERP space, and imparting sufficient training to these people who are then ready for the next level of evolution. They should be able to, at the first point, be able to pick the opportunity, be able to size it very quickly, and then we would like to offer them all the support necessary for a successful implementation. I think the first thing I'd like to say is our business model. It's a very, very interesting model. So Sage operates as what we call as different opcos or operating companies across the world. So you could almost think of us as a local multinational. So we have the ability to take local decisions to support our channel community and our customer community. We are not bound by, we have international guidelines but not rules of how we should run our businesses, which sort of leaves me with our tagline, global strength, local focus, we are accountable.